Welcome to the Canal, Steam and Yorkshire Dales trip run by the National Holidays Bus Company. Good morning, and we start day 2 at the Bankfield Hotel near Bingley in Skipton in the Yorkshire Dales. After a good night, we're all set for day 2 and looking forward to a nice day on a steam trip. Steam train trip and also some check out some villages around the Yorkshire Dales. Now, the hotel we've stayed in, there will be a hotel review coming up shortly, so please check that out. But for now, sit back and enjoy day 2.
We're at breakfast and there is a good selection of warm, hot and cold dishes over there and a nice room, and it's the same place that we had dinner last night. And there's the toast, so yeah, looks very, very nicely laid out. Day 2 of the National Holidays trip. We're at the Bankfield Hotel where we spent a lovely night. Nice hotel, excellent value, but I'll come on to value later. The plan for today, or the only thing we know that's going to happen today, is the train journey. So on the Ebbsea Steam Railway, which is sort of part of what we booked, obviously the Canal, the Steam and the Yorkshire Dales. We don't know if there's anything else or whether we go home straight after the train. There is no sort of itinerary. I will just say that it's starting to rain a little bit. It's always a shame, but weather can't be helped. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So we're just waiting for the bus. We had breakfast. We had to have breakfast at 8 o'clock. We obviously finished breakfast, went and finished packing, and then we need to be at the bus by 9:15. We are a little early, as you can see. Nobody else, well, they are here, they're sort of behind me, but a few people waiting, but we're a few minutes early, so just waiting for the bus driver, and then we can get on board and I guess set off for the steam railway first of all, but we shall see. A quick look at the train that will be pulling us. It goes from Ebbsea to Bolton Abbey, and this is actually at Bolton Abbey, and there are a few other trains knocking about here, very old ones. Don't know whether they're going to be done up for in the future. On board the train, and it's the individual carriages, which is quite cool. And outside, see the track. Just waiting for the train to set off. Just one further thing I've noticed: the toilet. Wow, there's loads of room in it. I think modern day toilets should be done like that, whereas there's loads and loads of space. Really good. And just looking around the train, and there are more of the carriages type, I want to say Hogwarts, because they're like Hogwarts. And that's looking down the platform. And it looks like it's steaming up, ready to go. It's dripping with rain still. Did have a bit of a downpour, but it's dripping with rain. But starting to stop now, I think, so that's good. We're on a passing loop, as there's a train coming the other way, because it's a single track railway, but it has a passing loop. people having, looks like breakfast. Hello. Just a quick look at Bolton Abbey station, and there is a miniature railway here as well. I'm not sure if the miniature railway runs still. Looks like there's some work being undertaken on it, but there's definitely tracks all the way round sort of the car park area. So it'd be nice if this ran at some point. Yeah, it does look as if it goes a fair way. But yeah, quite interesting, and would be very good if it had been running to sea.
Oh wow! What do you mean by welly walk? I've got welly.
Okay, arrived at Bolton Abbey, and over there, behind the trees, is Bolton Abbey. And now they walk down there. And the next stop on our trek is Grassington. So here we are at Grassington, and we've got, we arrived at 1 o'clock, and we've been told we've got to be back on the bus at 2 o'clock. And to be fair, there's a sort of a centre with a few shops, as you can see around here. Not a great deal, but we only get the hour to walk from the bus park up to the centre. Is sort of a five or so minute walk, and if you're not too amble on your feet, then it's going to be a little bit longer. And of course, obviously, you've got to walk back. It isn't far, but not everybody is as fit and able to walk as everybody else. So it's not a long time to actually walk up, look around, maybe get a cup of tea or something, or even something to eat, because obviously we had breakfast some 5-6 hours ago. People will be ready for another meal, and unfortunately an hour is not going to be a long time to sort of walk up, find a tea shop, or find something, you know, particularly if you want it hot, and sit down and eat and have the full time. So it's quite yeah, it's a short time. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's a short time in Grassington. Anyway, back to the bus. Okay, here we are again in Grassington. We're just at the bus park, but just looking, you know, some of the lovely scenery that you get to see. Unfortunately, you don't have the flexibility on the bus to obviously think, well, I wouldn't mind going over there or going to that area and seeing it. Or walking around that area just for a little bit of interest, if you think, oh, that's nice. However, the other side, of course, is that this could be taken as a taster sort of holiday. So you come along, you try a few different places and think, yep, Grassington's beautiful, I'll come back and stay here for a couple of days myself. So it could be classed as that. Like this could be a taster of some of the areas that you wouldn't normally come to, and it's certainly, as I've been talking again, it's full value for money when you consider what we've done. Anyway, we'll come on to that later in the video. So just some closing shots of Grassington as we get onto the bus, and I believe we're heading home, which, when you consider it's now sort of approaching 2 o'clock, it's quite early to be heading home on a 2-day trip, but still, that's the bus.
So just some thoughts as we end our trip at Grassington. It was nice, it was a great trip, and I have to say, value for money. You cannot get better value for money. For the trip of £80 per person to go on a steam trip, steam train trip, to go on a canal boat, go to the different villages, see the dales, spend a night at a hotel with evening meal and bed and breakfast. You cannot get that sort of value if you tried doing this yourself. As for the journey, I think a lot depends on the bus driver you get. Now, we had two bus drivers. One the first day who you hardly noticed. He drove the bus, he gave you the instructions, told you where to be and when to be there, but that was it. The second bus driver was much more chatty. He was constantly on the microphone with jokes, etc. Unfortunately, when it started to rain, and it did rain quite hard, he literally tried to talk people into saying, look, there's no point going to Grassington, you're going to get absolutely wet through, there's no point going to Bolton Abbey because you're going to get wet through, and really even offered to give us a piece of paper that allowed us to sign it and for him to take us home after the steam trip. So literally we would have been going home around about 11:30, and we would have lost really half of our second day. Luckily it stopped raining, people didn't want to go home, and we did manage to see Grassington and Bolton Abbey. Overall, the trip is well worth it. You get good value for money. I just feel on this trip, being dropped off at the hotel at 3:30 in the afternoon was too early. We left Grassington at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, that felt too early. We could have had longer at a lot of these places. And I don't know, but I wondered, because we swapped drivers halfway through the day, is it because the first driver needed to get back to Hull, therefore he dropped us off at the hotel early? I really don't know, so I can't say that certainly was the case, but it just felt that we didn't have a lot of time in the places we could have been. As I said, this is just one trip. I would certainly try other trips to see if they're similar. The hotel was excellent quality, and I say there is another video on that. So overall, rating the holiday, I would certainly give it 10 out of 10 for value. For interest, it would be up there at an 8, a 9 out of 10. The scenery was beautiful. Just that little bit of disappointment. So overall, I would probably say a 7. But that's purely because I felt we could have had longer. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. And thank you for watching the review. And if you've been on a national holidays or any other coach trip, let me know what you thought about the way that coach trips are run. But thank you for watching.